Starting to the left side, we have in red the opponent of DRG. And this is FXOLeenock, a very shy water animal.
Yeah.
Can be found in Korea.
He's going for a 10 pool.
Yeah, going for the 10 pool.
By the way, I have a story.
Oh, you have a story?
I was at Pro League. I went to watch EGTL lose to CJ Entis, and the thing is, Jaedong didn't know that Dong actually meant what Dong actually refers to. Yeah.
Okay.
And
so he never wondered why he can't use his nickname on letter?
Yeah, he didn't know that, and so Huck was trying to tell him actually, and he didn't believe him. So Doa just came over to say hi to the bench, and the first thing, there was a second Doa looks over there, Huck just goes, "Hey Doa, tell Jaedong what Dong means." So of course he tells him that it means penis, and Jaedong's face just like, it's actually true, like.
Yeah, well, now he knows. Now he knows why he can't use his nickname on letter.
He probably thought that the reason why he couldn't use Jaedong was because Blizzard was like, "No, you can't use Jaedong. That's an insult to the real Jaedong." So he was like, "No, I am the real Jaedong. Like, of course I can use Jaedong." They're like, "Nope, that contains an inappropriate character." He's like, "I'm really him."
FXOLeenock is doing something that I find really interesting because that is a strategy. Am I wrong? Or
no, he used the strategy against DRG today in the Blizzard Cup.
Wasn't it DRG who used it? I kind of...
No, you're right. Actually, you're right. Yeah, you're right. DRG used it against FXOLeenock.
It's exactly the strategy that FXOLeenock, that DRG used against FXOLeenock, and now we have it the other way around, which is really funny to me. So this could be kind of a short game. On the other hand, we have the expansion now for DRG. We have also a bit of an earlier pool, so he will have a few units out there. He just doesn't have the gas, but he goes straight for the Spineclaw, and that's going to help him a lot.
Immediate cancel on the hatch. He didn't have a very late spawning pool, so he should be okay. I mean, not necessarily okay survivable wise, but
he doesn't know about the gas. DRG, that is. Now he knows. He sees the gas. He's not gonna cancel those spine crawlers. He will need them against the Banelings, so that's gonna be really important here. Lings alone are not gonna cut it for DRG. He needs something against those Banelings, and that's what the spine crawlers are for.
Exactly. He even makes a third spine crawler right now. How much damage is FXOLeenock going to be able to do? I don't feel with the spines there and the wall with the spawning pool. He's also got the evolution chamber. I don't think this is going to do much at all.
It's a pretty cool wall. DRG is really playing this passive now. He knows that without the gas that he has, it's very difficult for him to make this work, but with 3 spine crawlers and good targeting, the queen as well, and the wall that you talked about with the evolution chamber at the front, this is going to be very tough for FXOLeenock to pull off.
FXOLeenock just starts to drone. He knows, okay, well, you're scared now, and I'm actually just going to drone, and probably he's going to start a hatchery as soon as he can. The spine crawler is going to be useful later on, of course, but right now they're just drones lost. They paid money to lose.
Yeah, that's 3 drones lost, and therefore 150 for the drones, 300 for the spine crawlers. That is a lot that he invested here. DRG, of course, that is. So Donagu with a very good defense. I have to say, I'm impressed here. He doesn't take any chances whatsoever.
Yep. Queen really trying to push the envelope here, though.
And the harvester count is still in favor of DRG, by the way, 17-12. Has a huge lead in the harvester count. His economy is so much better.
Yeah.
Double queen now as well. And this is the time where FXOLeenock gets okay.
I don't know how much I like. Well, he actually gets a few drones. Well, 5 workers killed. I didn't expect him to get that much.
He killed 5, but still the harvester count is still even.
And there's 3 queens against 1.
Triple queen against 1. And also let's not forget about the resources that FXOLeenock lost. FXOLeenock lost a lot of gas here. And that's gas you usually want to invest in your tech. And DRG is now using speed. At the same time that FXOLeenock does, the spine crawlers are being moved to the front. The queens can now block. We will see an expansion fairly soon for DRG. I have to say that this defense, even though he lost 5 harvesters, it could have been better if he was like perfect and everything in a robot. But it was still really well done.
Yeah, we're losing very little. But now we have this funny situation where FXOLeenock had him contained for a while. DRG is now slowly pushing down. He wants to take his hatchery. FXOLeenock's going to take his own hatchery pretty soon too. So I feel DRG has a slight advantage, but FXOLeenock is going to make his own hatch there, making it at the same time speed's really even. And this game is going to transition into a slightly standard game, just kind of a little bit later, a little bit behind.
That's the hatch, creep spread at the bottom, so therefore a nice wall with those spine crawlers. Well, good luck breaking through those, FXOLeenock. That's not gonna work. Baneliness, of course, also coming up for DRG. He needs it as a countermeasure. Leenock also has his own base at the left side now, wants to go into the hatch as well. So a very aggressive opening for Leenock. In the end, he's not able to do too much damage. Jonglagu with a nice defense. The game kind of stabilized at this point. We have both of them with roughly the same amount of harvesters and overall supply. Going into the expansion, a bit more gas lost in total for Leenock, of course. DRG with a fast attack here. He actually goes straight into lair. Leenock has the gas, but does he really want to invest the minerals at this point? We'll find out.
Well, this is a great scout for DRG. He sees the lair is not started yet for Leenock.
Yeah.
That's pretty critical information for him at this point.
One of the things that DRG really likes is to go into Mutalisk and ZVZ. Leenock is one of those guys who we often see go straight for the infestation pit, but this time, with such a tech advantage, Jonglagu is looking really strong. He has the expansion, as does Leenock, both of them. The saturation is really good for DRG, even though he's supply blocked at this point.
Leenock goes double evolution chamber.
And still no lair tech for him. Double evolution chamber, no lair tech, most likely trying to stick to the ground here and go for a bit of a timing. The problem is that he's losing it because the lair is now done, and I feel like DRG is going to build a Spire. Let's see.
I think Spire is the best choice.
Now.
There it is.
There we go. Spire for DRG as expected.
And, you know, Leenock is known for doing this 1-1 upgrade style in this matchup, but in this case, I don't know how well it's going to work out for him. He's going to really struggle to hold a third base on this map. Third base on this map, you know, just like in Protoss versus Zerg, is really far away and hard to hold against Speedlings and Mutalisks, so...
The problem that I have is that Leenock is just now. Look at the timings here. Leenock is going for the 1-1 for the ground units, but we have DRG with the Baneling Nest, so he can go for the defensive Banelings. So Lings alone should not do the trick. And Leenock is starting his own lair tech.
So late,
DRG
and he sees
is
it.
Already like halfway done with the Spire.
He sees the late lair, and he's just going to really commit to the mutas now because he knows he can. He's going to be able to make like 7 mutas, I think, when that Spire's finished.
And what's the big difference here? The big difference is that DRG has all this extra gas because Leenock invested it into Banelings and DRG didn't. And if you just look up to the top right, we have already 600 gas accumulated for the MVP Zerg player.
Leenock has 2 gas in his main. He's not even using one for some reason, but he's not using that one either. He actually had made his 3rd and 4th gas and didn't use them. Oh man, Leenock is in so much trouble at his 3rd that he hasn't even made yet.
6 Mutalisks are being built now, 2 Banelings just to be on the safe side at home. And yeah, this spells trouble.
Spelling it with a capital T, man. I think that Jonglagu is going to take his 3rd hatchery and then, well, he's actually going to get denied with his drone at the 3rd by some Lings. But he needs to take that base, and he will.
Yeah, don't want to trade one Zergling for a Baneling there. Here come the Mutalisks. Well, good luck, Leenock trying to move in. No block at the ramp, but guess what?
Yeah,
the Banelings.
Yep. And this is great for DRG now. But the infestation pit goes up for Leenock. He just doesn't have a 3rd base even started. He knows he can't get one. He makes the macro hatch instead.
And it's going to take an eternity for Leenock to really get the infestors out with the energy for a fungal.
Yep. So Overlord starts to fall. Leenock going to be further supply block than he already is. He actually isn't starting any Overlords right now.
He's going to lose so many of them.
He just got his inject. That's why he didn't start them yet.
There are 2 queens with energy for transfuse. He can use them, and that's the reason why Leenock backs off, because why DRG backs off, because he realizes that Leenock would have used transfuse to save the Overlord. 3rd base at the bottom left.
That 3rd base will not last.
I don't think so either. The queens are too slow off creep, and the Mutalisks.
And he comes so fast that Leenock didn't have the time to build up the hit points on the hatchery either. If he had come a little bit later, that might have been a different story. The Banelings defensively here are ready. That was pretty nicely controlled by Leenock, I have to say. And with a +1 Carapace, he will be able to kill his hatchery.
Yep, the hatch is going to die here, even though he sends a few units in, but that's too late. And both players lost their 3rd base, but DRG taking a huge supply lead in this game.
These drones being targeted down is Leenock is trying to do everything he can, and I'd say that Carapace upgrade is a great choice for this reason. That's why he got it, so he can do little things like this. So his Lings are so much more useful against Banelings.
The Mutalisks were really useful in this game already, taking down Overlords, taking down Zerglings, killing that 3rd base, and DRG now still with a huge supply lead is also heading into the road speed a lot faster. And let's not forget that he might not have the armor upgrade that Leenock already researched, but he has +1 attack and is going into the 2nd range up.
For me, the biggest concern is the infestors. you know, he doesn't have any infestors of his own just yet, and Leenock is going to be able to use the infestors defensively. So this base may have to be canceled again, and this is starting to get a little bit scary for DRG. He needs to be able to hold his expansion, and he's
I
not
don't
going to
think
be
that
able
it's going to have a problem here with all the units though.
barely holds it.
Yeah. Lino doesn't want to lose all these units, and Lino knows about the expansion of, DRG knows about the expansion of Leenock at the bottom left. There we
And
have the hatch.
he could go into the mutas again, but the infestors are out, and he knows that that's probably going to be the case, so he might not commit. Looks like he's going to try it. If he spreads his mutas, he should actually be able to kill the hatchery. The thing is, if you spread your mutas when you have this many of them against a small infestor count, the first wave of infestors, you can actually kill some of the infestors too,
Yeah.
and then suddenly it's like, oh, well, that wasn't a good idea.
You have to be really careful as the infestor player. Of course, the units are great if you get the chain fungal off, but with a decent spread, it's very difficult to make it work. If that third base is going to be cancelled, though, this is going to be a huge advantage for
Look
DRG.
at the spread.
And DRG already has a 50 supply lead, let's not forget about this. So if the third has to be cancelled, there come the infestors.
He doesn't commit here.
He could have done it.
I think he should have done it, in fact.
But he's waiting for the roaches.
The roaches are going to do it.
Yeah. I think the roaches are going to seal the deal here. And as soon as this third base is gone, that means that we have 3 bases for DRG and only 2 for Leenock. Even though Leenock is trying to kill the third at the top right, but that's not going to work.
Doesn't work.
Leenock's own expansion is so low on hit points though.
These queens are going to die.
Yep.
Try to transfuse each other, but it's futile.
And there goes the third base. Bye-bye third, and he's actually
Well,
fighting
several infestors get targeted down too. Norigu now just needs to get his own infestors out. He starts pathogen glands at home. Leenock just having to play from behind since that early stage of the game, and it just snowballs more and more as we go later and later into this game.
And Leenock is now on a clock. He needs to hit a timing because he realizes at this point, well, I don't have a third base. He's already on 3. He's just joining up right now. The longer I wait, the farther I will fall behind. It's more about the gas here than anything else. With the extra gas, DRG will be able to get all these upgrades out. And you can already see him head straight into pathogen glands, going for his own infestors. The roach count is currently in favor of DRG with 36 to 17. And with all these extra gases that he has, double extractor at the third base, with the saturation at the mineral line, DRG is in such a great spot. And he knows it.
Yeah, he does. He's just continuing to get those upgrades out. +2 carapace and +2 weapons for Leenock, though, are starting to come down, but doesn't look like it's going to matter. He's already behind an attack upgrade. The roaches here of DRG may just end his life. Even the mutas.
The mutalifts are still alive, which is actually pretty funny. And those infestors for Leenock, they try to survive, but the roaches, he just does not have the numbers here. We have units everywhere for DRG, a 50 supply lead for the MVPDRG player. Even as the mutalifts in the main base now taking care of the queen, this will further just stop the production of Leenock. And Leenock just does not have the sustainability that the DRG has.
Yeah, Leenock holds here actually pretty well, but I mean the trade was much better for DRG, and once he starts his production again, once those injects hit, he's just going to be able to pour out the production. He's 22 workers ahead right now, 3 base against 2 base. What we're seeing walking across the map is Leenock's last chance, and if it doesn't work out, then the game will end. He's going to have those 4 infestors popping out just in time.
Leenock has sick upgrades though. He will have the +2 armor upgrade. The numbers
but with these
are gonna be the
infestors,
issue.
yeah.
I mean, the upgrades are so much better for Leenock. He has actually 2-2 against 2-0, but with the infestors out and all those chain
And he's got no follow-up here. You can't reinforce this attack. He burrows, but the infestors are just going to reveal him.
Leenock micros is hard out here, and he does it as best as he can, but as you already said, the numbers game, that's something that he's not going to win. 18 roaches against 13, and 12 more building for DRG. Spine crawlers, spore crawlers, the overseer.
Overseer cleans up the roaches.
Yeah, this is just a very bad spot for Leenock to be in this first game.
Carapace going to finish here, which will even out the upgrades.
The infestors are now gone, and there's the GG.